Our big focus, of course, continues on the Karnataka election results, where the Congress has had a stupendous showing. Yes, it's a great showing for the Congress party. They're well past the majority mark if these leads turn into results. The Congress standing at 134 leads as of now. The BJP at 64, JDS at 22, others at 4. Siddaramaiah, former Chief Minister, is speaking right now. Remember, he's also one of the front runners to be CM once again in the state. Listening.
They came to power through Operation Kamala. 2018 also, Operation Kamala. They have spent lot of money in Operation Kamala. The BJP asked some of the MLAs who defected from Congress and JDS by giving them money, and all MLAs who are defected and involved in the Operation Kamala, they were all sold. Many of them were taught a lesson in this election. The people of Karnataka are politically very matured people. They know which party would save the state, because there was a threat by the BJP to the secular fabric.
All right, so Siddaramaiah, of course, speaking there, extremely pleased with the result of the Congress party. We have now former Maharashtra Chief Minister and Senior Congress Leader Prithviraj Chavan also joining us live. Mr. Chavan, welcome to NewsX. Thank you for sparing time on this very, very good day for your party. How pleased are you with the results, sir?
Well, it is extremely, we are very happy, let me see. We expected this would happen. We expected to get absolute majority. But this is quite, the numbers that are being shown now, 135 or so, it's very, very happy. I don't think we are outside the approach of the BJP. The Operation Kamala may not be affected now with this kind of majority. I think we'll give a good government to Karnataka over the next 5 years.
Absolutely. It seems that now things will be very, very stable, because you're well past that magic figure. You're well past the majority mark. It's not touch and go as was looking earlier in the morning. Let's talk now about what has contributed to this, Mr. Chavan, according to you. What do you believe has worked in favor of your party? Is it the fact that you highlighted local issues against the local government in various districts of the state? Is it your guarantees that you started announcing from several weeks before the formal manifesto launch? Is it the fact that a lot of rebels also, deserted the BJP, came to your party? Is it Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi's campaign in the state? What has worked for your party? What do you believe?
Okay, all these issues that you mentioned very important. The basic fact was, in 2018, we got more percentage of votes than BJP. We formed a government, but within a year, it was brought down by horse trading, Ghoda Bazaar, Operation Kamala, and then people had last 4 years of BJP rule, first by Yedurappa, then by Bommai. I think the fact that they had to spend a lot of money to effect the horse trading and effect the Operation Kamala, and they had to make good the cost involved in that operation, and therefore they ran a 40% commission sarkar, which was proven. The Santosh Patil's suicide note, he being a member of the Hindu organization, and letter written by the Contractors Association, letter written by the schools, 13,000 schools writing a letter. Nobody paid any heed to what was happening in Karnataka, and it was an extremely corrupt government. The 40% commission charge stuck. But more than that, the Congress is insistent on local issues which hurt the people. The message went through that on the two important issues which are hurting the people, that is unemployment and price rise, the inflation, the central government is not bothered. the main election symbol was the cooking gas cylinder. Every press conference, it used to be prominently placed there. It really hurt. The prices went up from 450 to about 1100 rupees. But Congress did not just keep on criticizing. Congress offered concrete succor. Congress has 5 guarantees helped the housewife to run the house, would help the housewife to run the house, whether it's a free electricity, 200 units, 2000 rupees, the allowance for unemployed youth, 10 kilo grains, or free travel for women. This would lessen the burden on a housewife trying to run the house. And this was a concrete help that Congress party promised in its manifesto. I think that worked. And it is also a point that we are gradually moving towards a bipolar polity. The JDS has loss of 5 to 6% vote share, and that vote share getting transferred to a national party like Congress.
Yes.
It's very critical. I mean, this happens in national election, but state election also this is happening.
And that obviously means that all castes, all sections of society have supported you. Of course, we've seen a complete decimation of the JDS. They're down to 20 to 22 leads right now. Kumaraswamy's son himself has lost, or he's trailing pretty significantly. And that old Mysuru and other strongholds have completely gone to you. We're also seeing Vokaligas support Congress, but even the Lingayat, who have supported the BJP traditionally, somewhere that vote has also shifted, which is leading to this 43% vote share. That is what you used to get, several years ago. Even Siddaramaiah, when he last came in, I don't think the vote share was 43%. So it's certainly something to interpret, isn't it, Mr. Chavan?
Yeah, these are very significant factors, 2 factors. Shiv Kumar being a Vokaliga, his leadership was accepted by people. The JDS leadership, Devgowda ji is getting older, and all that was not accepted. And as I said, people are trying to move towards a bipolar polity because smaller parties cause instability, cause horse trading and all that. People didn't like that. But also the mess up in Lingayat vote bank of BJP, the dropping of certain senior leaders, the treatment of Yadurappa. Mr. Bommai was not the original BJP face. He had come from JDS, also hurt them. But one or two other factors I'd like to highlight here.
Yes.
One, BJP was trying to make a big deal out of the polarizing issues like the Bajrang Bali issue, or the various divisive issues like the halal, the hijab, that love jihad, the films that they produced just in time for Karnataka vote. People did not bother about it. They gave more importance to local issues. The youth of the Karnataka, even whether the Vokaliga or even Lingayat youth, want to see a good government.
Okay. Final question to you, Mr. Chavan, before we let you go, on what bearing this will have now on 2024 on other state elections where you are also very hopeful, including Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh later in the year, and what bearing this will have also on Rahul Gandhi's leadership as well, because he also campaigned in the state, and we all did see Bharat Jodo Yatra do pretty well in Karnataka last year.
Yeah, 2 things. This will be a very landmark decision, landmark election, because now BJP has lost access to southern states. The 3 states election which will follow, we have strong leaders there, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And this election, which we won, by the way, last year with a good majority. So we are now on way to winning those elections, which will happen this year. And Maharashtra situation is very volatile. Mahavikas Aghadi fighting BJP's Shinde-Fadnis government. I think it is a warning bell for BJP. Therefore, they will of course try to destabilize the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra. But one other fact I'll highlight here before the important to forget. One is that Congress party ran this election giving due importance to the local leaders.
Yeah.
Whenever we change our leadership last minute, imported a leader from outside, for example, in Punjab or Assam, we had to pay major price.
Yeah.
But Congress party played the central leadership played a supporting role. Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar were at the front. They did not fight.
You aren't going to give me an answer of who will be the CM surely amongst these?
No. I think the CLP, I know because I was part of Karnataka in 2008. We selected the leader of opposition by voting. I think
That's something the CLP will decide in your high command. All right, we'll leave it at that. But you said a very important point there, that when you highlight local issues and when you empower local leadership, you end up winning. We saw it in Himachal Pradesh, Mr. Chavan, and now we're seeing it in Karnataka too. Thank you very much, Prithvi Rajji, for joining us on NewsX. B.S. Yediyurappa, speaking right now of the BJP, former CM. Let's go across.
ಸೋಲು ಗೆಲುವು ಬಿಜೆಪಿಗೇನು ಹೊಸದೇನಲ್ಲ. ಕೇವಲ 2 ಸ್ಥಾನದಿಂದ ಆರಂಭಿಸಿ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಂತ ಬಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಈ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶದಿಂದ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಧೃತಿಗೆಡುವಂಥ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಜಿಯವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಪರ ಆಡಳಿತ ನೀಡಿದಾಗ್ಯೂ ಸಹ ಪಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿನ್ನಡೆಯಾಗಿರೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆತ್ಮವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗುವುದು. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸಹಕಾರ ಸದಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆಯ ಈ ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನು ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮತದಾರರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು.
All right, Mr. Salman Khurshid, Congress leader, joins us to talk more about this. Mr. Khurshid, appreciate you speaking with us. The first question obviously is, rather the first wish is, congratulations on this emphatic victory in Karnataka. What would you attribute, this victory to? Is it the local leadership? Is it the Bharat Jodo Yatra? Or is it the anti-incumbency against the Bharatiya Janata Party? A slew of, in fact, topics that have been doing the rounds in Karnataka, which perhaps might not have played out so well with the population of Karnataka. The problem with the infrastructure in Bangalore is also something which has not resonated well for the Congress party, because Bangalore has predominantly voted for the BJP. So that's why I'm asking you, it's a little obfuscating at this point in time. What worked in Karnataka for the Congress party?
See, it's very difficult to make analysis off the cuff, as it were. There are some broad indications for every election result, but a deeper analysis, which I think is necessary both for in victory and in defeat, to understand exactly what happened. Now, no election is no matter what is perceived to be, is contested on a single element. It's not contested on a single theme. There are a lot of themes, visible and invisible, that combine, and therefore I think it takes a little time to understand, but critically you can identify some things. If you have good leadership on the ground level, which I think Karnataka had, if the perception of the local voter about the national leadership of the party is an important factor, and I think Karnataka has had a very special link with the leadership of the Congress party at the national level. I think that would be a factor. All the events that have happened, including the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I think they all have contributed together. And so there are negative elements and there are positive elements, and this need probably requires for proper understanding of how we proceed from here to do an analysis of this before we lay out the plans for how we will administer the state in the months and years to come.
Well, if you look at some of the bastions of the BJP and the JDS, like Old Mysuru and Mumbai Karnataka, those are some of the places, even coastal Karnataka for that matter, has voted for the Congress party. Despite the Prime Minister going there on a number of occasions, despite the top leadership posturing for a few months to woo the voters, that magic did not work well in Karnataka. So it only goes down to say that the groundwork, the local politicians of the Congress party in Karnataka did their job extremely well. If you look at Mr. Surjewala, he's been in Karnataka bag and baggage for quite a few weeks now. That goes on to show how serious this election was for the Congress party.
Well, undoubtedly true. I mean, absolutely. When I say you give credit for this election to whom, I think there's a large number of people, and certainly the national leadership representatives on the ground who took it upon themselves not to lead the campaign, but to be of assistance to those who would lead the campaign, local leadership. I think they've done a commendable job and they deserve to be warmly congratulated. Now, of course, they remain in charge in the management, and we'll have to see how they help the local leadership to then shape up the government of the future. I think that all factors, as I said, are important. They just fell in the right spot, in the right time, and the right place, and therefore we are successful. Many of these things, if one goes wrong somewhere in one state, it throws everything awry, and therefore we are often told that you've snatched defeat out of the mouth of victory, because everything else seems positioned to lead us to a victory, and then one little thing can go wrong. The important thing is that those things that were spun by the BJP and the BJP national leadership to be critical factors that could have possibly influenced decision, which then might have been regretted later. I must commend the voter of Karnataka in having very assiduously, carefully, and consciously ignored what were clearly irrelevant factors and should be irrelevant factors. But sometimes emotions do get carried away, but they didn't. And for this, the people of Karnataka deserve a special pat on the back.
Mr. Khurshid, it's going to be very interesting solely because of the timing of these elections to also predict what's going to happen in 2024. What has this done to the leadership image of Rahul Gandhi? Because obviously, the local leaders as well as the High Command in Congress Party are going to give credit to Rahul Gandhi for the Bharat Jodo Yatra as well.
Well, most certainly. And I've been at pains to tell people over a period that Mr. Rahul Gandhi may not be the president of the party, but Mr. Rahul Gandhi remains a primary leader of the party, a dominant leader of the party. And we can't forget that. If you don't have labels of organization, doesn't mean you're not a leader. Now, not once, but many times over, he has shown in many events and at many levels, he has shown that he has an enormous ability to draw people to him, and that he articulates issues that are of great importance to the people of India. Now, he's done that. I think it's also important that we must not forget that Karnataka must somewhere have thought, look, we've got to endorse the Congress president who is a son of the soil. He is from our state, and therefore giving him a victory, and an emphatic one at this time, will send a message of its own. So all these things are going to work well for us in the time to come. But obviously you have to be clear that 2024 or a national election in many ways is different from a state election. But the state election is not completely alien from a national election. There are elements of the state election that will be in the national election as well. And I think this would be a major addition to the effort that we have to make between now and 2024.
Mr. Salman Khurshid, appreciate you taking out the time, sir, and speaking with us. And once again, very many congratulations for you. This is perhaps the lease of life that the Congress party needed at this point in time. Well, we'll continue to debate. Dr. S.K. Datta, political analyst, is with us in the studio. And before that, in fact, Mallikarjun Kharge, Congress president, is addressing the media. Let's cut across to see what he's saying.
बहुत बधाई हो सबसे पहले आपको.
How you describe this win, sir?
ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾರಿ ಬಹುಮತವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನು ಜನ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ನನಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಜನರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನಿರಾಶೆಗೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ನಾವು 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆ 5 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ನಾವು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜನ ಈ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಸತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸದ್ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿವೆ, ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಕಾರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು, ಅವು ಜಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತರ್ತೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದರ ನಂತರ ಮಾಡೋರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಕಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರ ಅಂಥ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹುಷಾರಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರು CLP ಇರಬಹುದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಇರಬಹುದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಬೇರರು, ಸಂಘಟಕರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸು, ಯಾರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಂಥ ಈ ಚುನಾವಣೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಭಾರಿ ಬಹುಮತದಿಂದ ಅನೇಕ ದಿವಸದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದ್ರದ್ದೊಂದು ಜನ ಏನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರ ಗೌರವಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾನು ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಕಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂಥ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಗಳು AICCಲಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂತು, ಸುರ್ಜಿವಾಲಾ ಅವರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ, ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬರ ಹೆಸರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನ ಒಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಶೋ. ಇದು ನಾವು ಕೂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಅವರು ಇವರು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾಗಲೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನತೆಗೆ, ಅವರ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧತೆಗೆ, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಿರ್ಣಯ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ತಲೆ ಬಾಗ್ತೇನೆ. एक पूछे तो बोलते
सर एक बार हिंदी अंग्रेजी हिंदी में भी उत्तर भारत के लोग भी सुनना चाहते हैं, उत्तर भारत के लोग भी सुनना चाहते हैं.
अरे ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹಿಂದಿ बोलने का ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮೋದಿ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ರ್ಯಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬಿಜೆಪಿನ ತಿರಸ್ಕರಿಸಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟು ಲೋಕಸಭೆಗೆ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿನ.
ನೋಡಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ನಾನು ಮುಂದಿನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಲಿ, ಮುಂದಿದೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್, ದ ವಾರ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ನಾ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. देखिए, अरे बैठो, दोनों बात करेंगे. देश का हमारा कन्नड़ जैसा मोदी बोलते हैं कि ये मैं मूल निवासी हूँ, कौन सा गुजरात में बोले, मैं भी यहाँ का भूमि पुत्र हूँ. जरा सुनो भूमि पुत्र का भी. हाँ, देखिए, मैं आज का चुनाव और आज का जीत, ये जनता का जीत है और जनता ने हमको जिताया है और जनता ने एक भ्रष्ट सरकार को डिफीट दिया है, उनको हराया है। लेकिन हमको आगे बहुत कुछ करना है। जो वायदे हमने निभाए, वायदे हमको निभाना है, वो हम निभाएंगे। हमारी जो 5 गारंटी है, जिस गारंटी पे लोग विश्वास रखे, उन्होंने हमको वोट दिया है। खासकर महिलाएं, दलित, वंचित, जो ओबीसी के लोग और इवन अदर अपर कास्ट, सभी ने इसमें अपना सहयोग।
All right, Mallikarjun Kharge, elated that the Congress party has finally secured a big state like Karnataka. He is obviously talking about how much hard work went into, in fact, preparing grounds for this kind of a massive victory. What is this going to do to the Congress party? Is this some sort of a precursor to what 2024 is all about? What mistakes did the BJP make, and even the mistakes that the Congress made, specifically about banning Bajrang Dal in their manifesto just a few days before the elections, that had any impact on the mandate or not? That's something that we'll discuss for the next few minutes. Dr. S.K. Datta, political analyst, with me in the studio. Mr. Gautam Seth, Congress spokesperson, also with us on the show. Huda Zariwala, political analyst, is also joining us. Mrs. Sandeep Agarwal, political analyst, with us on the show as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. Dr. S.K. Datta, first up, what went wrong for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka? We were just discussing offline that the vote share for the Bharatiya Janata Party continues to be the same. The Congress has had, if we can term it that, a marginal proliferation of the vote share, and yet they have turned out to be victorious. It definitely is about anti-incumbency because the hijab, the Tipu Sultan factors, attacking the Congress party for the Bajrang Dal issue has also not worked. The pundits predicted that 140 is going to be the mark that the Congress party is going to achieve. What did the BJP do wrong? Is it the Chief Minister? Because the Prime Minister had to come himself and rally and do those road shows. Is it a weak Chief Minister that has resulted in this particular mandate for the Bharatiya Janata Party? What's your analysis?
Well, there are several factors actually. First and foremost, I would congratulate the Congress party for winning this election. Second is when it comes to as to where did things go wrong, I understand that there are many factors behind it. One was the number of rebels in the Bharatiya Janata Party was too high and too large to manage. That was one very important factor which resulted in this kind of a final result of the elections. Again, I understand that, and I say this with a lot of conviction, that I smell something fishy in North Karnataka, which is the Mumbai Karnataka area, as well as
what do you mean fishy?
I'm just coming to that, as well as central Karnataka, because central Karnataka and Mumbai Karnataka has been traditionally a bastion of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it has a large percentage of the Lingayat votes as such. And of course, other caste and minority factor is also a very important factor here. What I understand is in North Karnataka area or Mumbai Karnataka area, as well as in central Karnataka area, there has been a complete polarization of the minority vote bank towards the Congress party, together with a complete shift of the Janata Dal secular vote bank towards Congress party, and this has happened across the whole of Karnataka. If you are talking about this additional 4 to 5% extra percentage in terms of vote share, which the Congress party got, the BJP vote share is absolutely intact. It is 36% and it has remained so. But this additional 3-4% which was an add-on for the Congress party, this is actually the Janata Dal secular vote bank which has shifted towards the Congress party as such. But I would again suggest that this is not a mandate which gives in a direction towards the 2024
No, we're not
election,
talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Because that is something which is a different ball game altogether.
Absolutely.
But
it's a different science altogether,
Yes,
Dr.
it is a different science altogether. And what I understand is yes, there were other factors like the way the BJP government was not able to project its developmental schemes in a proper way. At the same time,
Do you think corruption was another factor?
Corruption was, as far as I understand,
whether it existed or not, the 40% rate card corruption charge definitely caught on. It had a ring to it which echoed with the voters, we can see that.
It might have echoed with the voters at the local level.
Okay.
But as far as I understand, you know, like, I mean, the way the local government of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the way it should have projected its you know, governance as well as its path of development.
Okay,
They could
let me
it.
also rope in Gautam Seth of the Congress Party. Gautam, first up, very many congratulations to the Congress Party, to you as well. The big question that everybody must be wondering is that you are up against perhaps the most formidable election machinery in modern India, and you managed to beat them. You've also accused the Bharatiya Janata Party in the past, when the results have not gone your way, of EV manipulation. That thought or that accusation has not come up today. It's a bit of hypocrisy, but nevertheless, you are the Sikandar today, because Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar. What are your thoughts?
You see, thank you for your wishes firstly. There's a pattern which is now building up in this country, which started with Himachal Pradesh and now Karnataka adding up to it, that the country is slowly coming back to issue-centric politics. The country is not getting deviated to politics of propaganda, to politics of polarization. The country and the people of the country, the voters, are now moving back to issues. Because
funny you should say that. Funny you should say that, Gautam, because just a few days before the voting, you had brought up the Bajrang Dal part in your manifesto. Isn't that a part of polarization?
Our manifesto talked about 5 big guarantees, and the part of the manifesto that you are talking about said that we would be acting against such organizations which spread hate in the country. And that is what the
So
Bharat
even
Jodo
your
Yatra's
attempts to
message
polarize
was
did not
always.
work. So polarization does not work. It doesn't matter which party does it, actually.
You see, that part of manifesto was brought into the center stage by the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress was only centric to those 5 guarantees, was centric to the 40% Sarkara, was centric to unemployment, was centric to inflation, and we continue to talk about it. We continue to talk about issues that make changes in the life of people from day to day. And people have accepted our policy-backed solutions, and this particular mandate is going to pave the way for the Indian National Congress and largely the issue-centric politics in the country.
Okay, that's a good point, and I give it to you. It's not about issues always, it's also about the popular mandate. Mr. Agarwal, what do you think goes on in Karnataka? For the most part that I can remember, I am of course much younger than you are, but the Lingayat vote, which is slated to get you victories, has swung the Congress way. If you talk about the SC/STs, that has also been a big factor in Karnataka. I can't remember in my lifetime, a historical election where the SC/ST vote has not decided who the government of the day in Karnataka is going to be, and this time also that truth has prevailed. The SC/ST vote has gone the Congress way.
Well, it is simple, Janta Janardan hai. They decide, and when the hand and the Ashirwad is on Congress, so Congress has won, congratulations to them. And when we say Lingayat vote, yes, we believe that because of the desertions from BJP, Congress has received the benefit of that. More so, it is, I believe, that BJP calling out JDS as B team of Congress has really helped Congress, because 5% of JDS vote has shifted to Congress, and that is where it has made all the difference. BJP has not lost any percentage votes. It is the Congress which has gained on as JDS has lost 5%. So it is important to understand that the vote base of BJP may have remained the same. What has more importantly happened is that probably the electioneer strategy has maybe failed in a manner that targeting JDS was not a very good idea.
Targeting JDS, Mr. Agarwal, or relying perhaps on JDS, because the Congress has eaten into the BJP share as well as the JDS share?
No, I believe the BJP share has remained same as 36%.
I mean, number of seats is
number
what I'm
of seats.
Yes,
number of
it's
seats
eaten into
because
their seats.
Congress has shifted the JDS votes to them, and that I believe probably could have happened because BJP called them the B team of Congress, and people thought that okay, let us give to the A team. Probably it was a strategic mistake, but that is what has happened. But it is life, because in Karnataka, it has always been seen that no government has got the mandate again. So probably
okay. Let me open Huda into this conversation as well. Huda, what do you think happened today? You know, I heard Mrs. Surjewala speak a couple of days back that the attempts by the Bharatiya Janata Party to in fact polarize and communalize issues have fallen flat on their face. This is what the Congress Party said. There were cylinders that were distributed on Diwali, Holi, but there were no cylinders that were distributed by the Bharatiya Janata Party on Eid. Do you think all of these things, have made a difference even for voters who perhaps, do not classify as pure minorities in Karnataka?
Well, first off, a huge round of congratulations to the Congress Party for this, historic win, I would say, in a way, because this is just before 2024 elections. So, obviously, this could be a run-up for the upcoming year. This is a very important victory for the Congress, especially after Himachal Pradesh. They needed a big win in the south. But yes, that being said, like my speaker earlier mentioned, that the policy and the politics of polarization does not seem to work, at least with the people of Karnataka anymore. Thankfully, people are much more educated than, you ought to give them credit for. They have voted for issue-centric politics. They have voted for issues. The minority especially did not let their votes divide between any other party. They made sure that they all vote for one party.
You know, we should get that thing. Hey, hello, how are you? वो ढोल बंद करा दो. राहुल जी जिंदाबाद. राहुल जी जिंदाबाद. Are you ready? What is this camera? Take it there. No. Take it there. Not here, take it there. Hey, take it there. This is not the place. वो ठीक है भैया, उधर ले जाओ. No. Remove it. Everybody should be there, brother. You want to take questions? I can. भैया ये पटाखे बंद करवा दो.
साथियों, राहुल जी आपको संबोधित करेंगे. प्लीज शांत हो जाइए.
I switched it off.
शांत हो जाइए. साथियों, शांत हो जाइए. राहुल जी अभी प्रेस को संबोधित करेंगे. शांत हो जाइए प्लीज.
जिंदाबाद. नमस्कार.
एक मिनट, पहले राहुल जी बोलेंगे. साथियों, शांत हो जाइए. अभी राहुल जी बोलेंगे. शांत हो जाइए.
जिंदाबाद. नमस्कार. 2 minutes. हाँ, नमस्कार. सबसे पहले मैं कर्नाटक की जनता को, कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस पार्टी के सब कार्यकर्ताओं को, सब नेताओं को, और जो हमारे सब नेताओं ने कर्नाटक में काम किया, उनको बधाई और धन्यवाद देता हूं. देखिए, कर्नाटक के चुनाव में एक तरफ क्रोनी कैपिटलिस्ट की ताकत थी, दूसरी तरफ गरीब जनता की शक्ति थी, और शक्ति ने ताकत को हरा दिया. और यही
यही हर स्टेट में होगा। कांग्रेस पार्टी कर्नाटक में गरीबों के साथ खड़ी हुई, हम गरीबों के मुद्दों पर लड़े, और मुझे सबसे अच्छी बात यह लगी कि हमने नफरत से, गलत शब्दों से ये लड़ाई नहीं लड़ी। हमने मोहब्बत से, प्यार से, दिल खोल के ये लड़ाई लड़ी, और कर्नाटक की जनता ने हमें दिखाया कि ये देश मोहब्बत इस देश को अच्छी लगती है। कर्नाटक में नफरत की बाजार बंद हुई है, मोहब्बत की दुकानें खुली हैं। ये सबकी जीत है। सबसे पहले ये कर्नाटक की जनता की जीत है। हमने चुनाव में कर्नाटक की जनता से, गरीब जनता से 5 वायदे किए थे। मैंने अपने भाषण में कहा, खारगे जी ने भाषण में कहा, सब नेताओं ने भाषण में कहा था कि हमारे 5 वायदे हैं। हम इन वायदों को पहले दिन, पहली कैबिनेट मीटिंग में पूरा करेंगे। मैं फिर से कर्नाटक की जनता को दिल से बधाई देना चाहता हूं, धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं। नमस्कार, जय हिंद।
नमस्कार,
थैंक यू,
थैंक यू। राहुल गांधी, बजरंग बली।
Rahul Gandhi elated with the Karnataka result, saying that nafrat ki dukaan band hui और उम्मीद की किरण जागी is exactly what Rahul Gandhi said. Dr. Datta, obviously the Congress party is extremely positive that this is going to translate into something bigger for them. You know, for the past 3 elections, big elections, the Congress party has been drawing a lot of flack, a lot of blanks. How do you think this is going to translate nationally? How is it going to translate into the other assembly elections that we are going to be witnessing within this year? Is this, of course, going to be affecting the mandate in favor of the Congress party? And if so, what is going to be the plan that the BJP plans to execute? Because this is in no way going to appease the high command in the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Every party gets euphoric and does feel good when their party wins an election. So as I have congratulated Congress earlier also, so my best wishes are there with Congress. But I was listening to the spokesperson of the Congress party and the analysis which he was doing. He was talking about Himachal Pradesh and he's talking today about Karnataka. But he just forgot that around that time when the Himachal Pradesh election was taking place, there was election in Gujarat also as well as in Uttarakhand also. So smartly he just tried to, whitewash that. The dismal performance of the Congress party in Uttarakhand as well as in Gujarat, and Congress was wiped out in both the states, Then he was saying that it's a mandate in favor of the Congress party. Then is he trying to question the mandate of the people of Uttarakhand and Gujarat who had, handsomely voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party? This type of absurd logic does not, carry any kind of weight as such. Now, coming to your question, Vinit, about the pan-India thing in 2024 election, they are euphoric right now with the win in Karnataka, and obviously so, because it has been a fantastic victory for the Congress party in Karnataka. But then this euphoria will become a dis-euphoria very soon in Rajasthan. If Congress has captured the Everest in Karnataka, Rajasthan would be the Waterloo for Congress in coming few weeks and few months' time. Okay. And also Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Andhra, Telangana, where Congress is fighting a battle for survival. Especially in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Congress has no representation. Congress has no representation in the Northeast. Congress has no representation in Bengal. See the result of the municipal election of UP today. It is 99% win for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Congress could not even win, could not even open up its account in the municipal corporation election in UP. So where do you stand in UP? MP? What is your presence in Uttarakhand? What's your presence in Jammu and Kashmir? What's your presence in Leh Ladakh? What's your presence in Punjab? What's your presence in Delhi?
But
where are you in Gujarat? You know,
Okay.
where are you in Andhra? Where are you in Telangana? Where are you in the whole of Northeast? You know, and you are daydreaming about 2024. First, work at the grassroots level in all those states. Develop your unit out
like
there,
they,
and
Dr.
then
Datta,
only you
like
can
they say in
daydream.
Hindi, isn't this evidence enough? Isn't this praman enough for the Congress party to be a lot more confident, exuberant and buoyant for the upcoming elections? I understand the BJP has its own strength, but you know, when you are fighting a battle, the last thing that you should be doing is underestimating your adversary.
No, of course not. One should not underestimate any party.
Because if I remember, the BJP floated, 50 odd new candidates and took out a number of old ones as well, and some of them joined the Congress party. One of them, Mr. Savadi, is in fact leading at this point in time. I'm not sure what Jagdish Shettar, the last time I checked, he was trailing. So all of these things were not calibrated to the T by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Obviously, there must have been some mistakes in terms of calculation, in terms of analysis, in terms of election campaign of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Otherwise, this could not have been the mandate as such. You know, so there will be a proper introspection of all this as such.
Like you mean a Chintan Shivir?
Yes, Chintan Shivir, and in BJP it's known as the Baithak, and not the Shivir like the way it is in Congress party.
Right.
You know, so that Baithak will definitely take place, and there would be a proper analysis of all this. I'm sure the Honorable Prime Minister must have started the introspection from today itself after this defeat in Karnataka as such. But my question out here is, like today I was saying that several stalwart leaders of the Congress party have started floating the idea of Shri Rahul ji as the prime ministerial candidate for 2024. But one should not forget that the 30 days bail deadline of the lower court of Surat is already expired.
Okay.
You know,
Let me take a
and just 5 seconds more, you know, and the Gujarat High Court has refused to do a hearing on the bail application, you know, so within another 2 or 3 days time, this deadline gets over, and I think the Election Commission will soon take a call on the disqualification process of why not. And if the Gujarat High Court does not accept the bail plea of Shriman Rahul ji, and Supreme Court doesn't give a hint, address to it, then 2 years jail term is very much there.
Okay, absolutely.
As per the decision.
Those are the facts. Mr. Agarwal, this also in fact is a learning for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Prime Minister went to Karnataka a number of times, even in the last few days, right before the polling happened. He was there. We saw all the hoopla, we saw all the attention, and we saw all the excitement around the Prime Minister, but it has not translated into votes for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Is that a lesson point in time that, you also have to have local strong leadership, and relying on the most popular face of your party is not always going to get you the mandate that you have been seeking?
So I would say in victory and loss, we should all be humble. We can always find faults and mistakes.
But I want you to answer my question.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that obviously we need to depend on multiple people. Karnataka is not a small state. There are multiple senior leaders, and they had all to work together. Probably it has happened that they have not been able to work together in the sense that they were able to garner votes. It is the perception more important than anything else, which I believe is what is important. It was perceived that Congress will win this election, and therefore it won. And it was perceived that because of the anti-incumbency and because of probably the infight and desertions, that BJP is going to lose, and people don't want to bet on a losing horse. So people have bet like that. And I would also say that whatever has happened. Now I think it is more important that both the governments, the center and the state, should work together to make Karnataka great. It is very important. Karnataka is one of the prime states where IT hub is there, where India gets major part of its
After
IT
Maharashtra
revenue.
contributes maximum towards the GST as well.
Yes, GST. Maharashtra is giving GST, and Karnataka is one of the top GST payers, and it is coming from the IT industry, where the import input is almost nil. It is 100% local content that way, and therefore it is very important that that is not affected because of any fight or any issues which the policies of banning, I should believe, should not be taken up. We should work together to make the country great, the state great.
Okay.
That is what.
If Huda is still there with us, Huda, if you can hear me, Huda, if you're still there with us,
Yes, I'm there.
Huda?
Yes, I am. Am I audible?
Right, Huda, you've supported the Aam Aadmi Party in the past as well. They also floated about 209 candidates in the state of Karnataka. Too bad. I'm sure a lot of them will lose their deposits as well, needless to say. But the fact of the matter is that, there are positives to derive for the Aam Aadmi Party here as well. You have beaten the BJP in other parts of the country as well. And that perhaps is going to give you an idea, or perhaps, some sort of a textbook after this election, that you can follow something similar what the Congress did in Karnataka and approach the elections next time you are faced with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Well, absolutely. Aam Aadmi Party did, in fact, flout, a lot of its candidates.
209.
Some very close friends, in fact, were contesting. So, absolutely, which is a huge number. But obviously, this was, for the Aam Aadmi Party, this was never an election that they were kind of banking upon. This was an attempt that they were trying to make in the south of India to kind of familiarize people with the policies of Aam Aadmi Party and how it has influenced the people of Delhi and Punjab. Even if one candidate had won, this would have been, more like a khata khulne wala thing for Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party obviously was not extremely hopeful in this election because the whole idea behind contesting in Karnataka was so that people, this was basically preparing a ground for an election that would come in the next coming term. But that being said, BJP is one party that all of us, even the people on ground level, I had myself gone to Bangalore and other places in Karnataka to take a survey on ground with the people, and the one thing that I was being told that they were not in fact happy with the BJP. People did seem to have Congress as the prime kind of choice for them at that point in time. Of course, Aam Aadmi Party was a party that a lot of people did resonate with, that may not have converted into votes for the party at this point in time, but we've certainly not lost hope, and we're extremely happy with the fact that Karnataka is not a state that this time at least voted for the entire polarization narrative, the entire Bajrang Dal Kerala story being released right before the election and all of that. This time Karnataka people actually took matters into their own hands as far as voting is concerned. They made sure that they vote on issues that matter.
Interestingly, Dr. Datta, you're right, Huda. Interestingly, we also have to talk about some of the issues, that were hyped up in a run-up to the Karnataka elections, Dr. Datta. Bangalore, for that matter, complained of potholes, they complained of infrastructure issues. 100 people died, Dr. Datta, as a result of pothole accidents in Bangalore alone. I'm not talking about Karnataka, I'm only talking about Bangalore. Still, the maximum number of the urbanites have voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. This goes on to tell you that the double engine ki sarkar formula is a lot more appealing to the urbanite than it is to the person who's on the ground. People from the bucolic backgrounds, the rural India is perhaps looking at the groundwork and the ground reality. And that perhaps could be a worry for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Well, the Bharatiya Janata Party has always been and traditionally has been very strong in urban and semi-urban areas across pan-India, and there is no doubt about that, and that is a reflection in Karnataka also. But having said that, to say that the Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't have presence in the rural areas or semi-rural areas.
I'm not saying presence. I'm talking about the groundwork that these people are voting on the basis of.
Yes, absolutely, and it is
schemes and quotas are a different thing.
It is based on the groundwork only that you get a mandate, right, Vinit? So if you don't have a presence in the semi-rural or semi-rural or rural areas as such across India.
Well, Aam Aadmi Party had no history in Punjab. They still got votes, right?
No,
so that's a different case study for you.
Aam Aadmi Party's win in Punjab is a different case. It is an aberration as such. That aberration can be discussed in a different perspective. I don't want to go into the Punjab issue right now.
By aberration, you mean, is it something unholy? Is that what you're referring to?
Unholy from across the border. We know from where the funding came, what happened during the farmer agitation. Each and everything is known to the whole nation as such, you know. So, and what's happening in Punjab because of that, that is also a glaring reality, you know, everyday assassination and terrorist attack and bomb blast. This is what is happening in Punjab, and there is a complete revival of the Khalistan movement in Punjab, which has been supported and co-opted by the Aam Aadmi Party because of their majburi of taking funds from across the border and from other quarters at the international level, which are funded by the Khalistan Liberation Front as such. So that's a different thing altogether. But having said that, let me come to the original question of yours. You know, like, I mean, at the pan-India level, BJP would not have got in such a landslide mandate in 2019 if its presence was only in urban and semi-urban areas. You know, it has swept state elections and states after states in 2019 from north to south, from east to west, not only because of the urban phenomenon, but also because of the equally rural phenomenon as such, you know. And that is the reason why there was such a crescendo in relation to the mandate for the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2019. What I understand is like 2024, a similar combination will be emerging at the pan-India level. Already this attempt of Nitish Babu to hop around from one state to other.
Not only Nitish, even Siddaramaiah spoke.
Yes,
he said that
all of them,
opposition leaders should congregate and fight the Bharatiya Janata Party.
All of them are playing a hopping and catching game, you know. But the problem will arise in the kursi of the Prime Minister itself. It's a Singhasan Battisi game of the opposition party, and in that, Navin Patnaik recently said that he is nowhere with the third front, you know, and he would be going Ekla Cholo. So many more Ekla Cholos will be coming up sooner or later, you know. So let us just wait and watch and see what happens.
All right. Well, when asked Mr. Sharad Pawar as to what is the quality that a politician must possess, he said the number one quality that a politician must possess is, of course, patience, and that's exactly what the Congress has reaped benefits of today in Karnataka, and of course the Bharatiya Janata Party will too. We just have to wait for a few more months for 2024 and some of the other assembly elections, including in Madhya Pradesh later this year.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.